welcome back to the vlog. If you are new here, my name is Joelle. I am a mum to 5 and I am filming Vlogtober, so welcome. And if you are back, thank you so much for being here. I have to admit, I've been very slack with my vlogging today. I did not do a good job. I'm starting the vlog now. It's already 3:14 p.m. in the afternoon. So Dave has just gone to pick up the boys, my 2 oldest boys from school. My younger 3 are still home and we are homeschooling them. And yes, I really have not gotten all that much done today. I have done things, but they just don't seem all that significant, if that makes sense. So Mondays are usually a big recovery day for us because Sundays are so huge. So getting the boys out the door this morning was a bit of a big deal because it was their first day back for term 4. But yes, other than that, I have been cleaning the house. I've been doing a few important administrational sort of things with my new job. I am just having to so I got accepted. If you're keeping up to date with the job, I got accepted for the position, which is really exciting, but they needed to get 2 registered nurses, so 2 RNs, to basically sign me off for my AIM position. So I had to supply them with 2 RNs that I have worked with in the past. And that has been trickier than I thought because a lot of the RNs who I worked with have moved on. I have not worked in the nursing home for over 3 years, and they're all in different workplaces now. And even when I did work, I worked casually. So I wasn't like a full-time employee. I used to be many years ago, but of the recent years before I finished up, I was casual, so I didn't have the same RN every time. So that has been a little bit trickier than I had anticipated, but I finally have tracked down 2 of the lovely RNs I used to work with, and I supplied the second one today to my job. So hopefully I will be able to start sooner than later, but they're quite strict with background checks and references and all of that. So I've never quite experienced it this strict before, but I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, so did all of that this morning. Yeah, caught up with Dave. Sometimes we need to catch up. So we sat down at that table and had a really good debrief and catch up and sort of discussed a few important things. And yeah, this is a really long introduction, but I'm just trying to catch you up with where I'm at in my day. Now I'm going to clean my kitchen, which is so bad. There's 7 of us, right? So after a couple of meals, I have not done the dishes for a couple of meals, so that has piled up. I'm going to get that done really quickly. Dave is picking up the groceries as well with the boys. I have ordered them, so he'll pick them up, and then I plan to film a haul, and then I'm cooking spaghetti for dinner. So can't wait to hear from the boys, see how their day was, and have a nice hopefully relaxed quiet night with the family. That's the plan, but I will keep this vlog on for today, tomorrow, maybe even the next day, and just take you around with me, and who knows what's going to happen. That's why I love vlogs, because I don't even know what's going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off and get my dishes done. Actually, I had the thought, I wanted to say something and then I forgot to say it while I was talking over there. I'm just going to do the dishes, so don't mind the background noise. I had the thought, I just wanted to clarify something from my last vlog. If you watched it, I'm not sure if you did or not, but I had a little rant, had a little bit of a venting episode because where we were staying, our neighbor who had a young baby and who was trying to get her baby to sleep at one point asked my children to be quiet when they were out the front playing because she wanted to get her baby to sleep. And so I had a little bit of a rant, not so much at her. I'm sorry if it seemed as though I was ranting at this particular lady. I was not. I really do understand what sleep deprivation can do to a person, and she really was not mean or unrealistic. It was more just the shock to my kids to be told to be quiet, and then me being on the defensive of like, my children haven't done anything wrong. And because of our history of having neighborly issues, now we are a family that makes noise, but we do try to be respectful of, time limits and noise guidelines, and we very much were doing that. We were not outside of the time limit of where you were allowed to make noise. So anyway, I just want to apologize if it came across like I was being mean in my frustration towards that lady. I really wasn't. I do feel for her. I've had 5 kids. I get it. I know what sleep deprivation and the importance of getting a baby to sleep is like. It's more for me. I'm just so sensitive because I've had literally like actually mean neighbors in the past. And so it's just one of those issues. Okay, obviously there are things that make me upset, but nothing sort of triggers me that quickly. I've got a few things that trigger me quickly, and that's one of them, is when like a neighbor gets upset at my kids. So I'm not sure if you can relate to that or not, but that was the situation. She really was not mean or anything like that. She was just tired, and I mean, good on her for speaking up for herself. But yeah, I just didn't want to come across as like I was having a big go at this lady or anything like that. That is not my heart. I would never want to do that to a fellow mum. Sorry, I know this is a weird angle, but it's great because I can talk and actually work at the same time. Yes, so homeschooling, I've just given myself, I have extended to myself one more day of grace, but I'm actually really excited to get back into it with my younger kids. I have really missed it. And so last term, like although technically we were still homeschooling, I think my heart was just so split and torn with sending our older boys off to school, and there's a whole video on that and the reasons for why we did that if you'd like to see that on my channel. And yeah, that basically was mourning for the whole term. And so we did do school, but my heart really wasn't in it, if that makes sense. It was very much just very bare minimum reading and math. That's basically it. No heart involved, no fun of learning, no history, no science, there wasn't a lot of joy involved, if that makes sense. And so we've all had these school holidays, and I've got to be honest, sending the kids this morning was again really hard on me. I'm just not there yet, guys. I'm really not. With the whole sending the kids off to school, we had them home for 3 weeks because we had an extra week off. And yeah, we just fell into our old patterns again. I mean, obviously we weren't homeschooling, but we are a family that is so used to being together all the time. And so even though obviously that can result in arguments and people getting annoyed at each other, we genuinely like to be together. It's just the way we've always been since our kids were born. We've always been together. And so yeah, that was hard. Dave did the school run this morning, which I was really glad because I was feeling quite sad sending my boys off, and it's not like they're in kindergarten, you know what I mean? I have an almost 11-year-old and an almost 13-year-old, but man, I'm sure I'm not the only mum out there. I'm sure there's other mums that still struggle to send their older kids off, but yeah, that wasn't easy on me. But all of that to say is that this term for my younger two, yeah, I am really wanting to put my heart back into it. And the truth is, they are on a waiting list for school, for the same school, but they have not been accepted yet, and they may not even get a spot for who knows forever how I can't talk, what is wrong with me, for how long. I don't know how long we could be waiting for them to get a spot because it's a smaller school and it's already pretty full. So you know, I don't want to give them a half-hearted job of homeschooling, and I'm going to go back into it. I'm just going to jump fully back into it with my whole heart. So you can expect some more homeschool content to be coming out of this channel again, because they're here and they're home and they deserve my best, and I want to give them my best. So yes, that will be happening tomorrow. I need tonight to prepare, hopefully to clean house, prepare for, you know, what we're going to do the next day. I guess you could call it a lesson plan, I'm not sure, but really going to be organized. I'm not going to wing it. I'm going to go into it with all my heart and start fresh for term 4 for I have 3 at home, but for my 2 school-aged kids tomorrow. back to the vlog. It has been a busy morning. What's today? We're up to Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning. A lot has happened actually. So I have one extra child home today. Hey Isaac.
This is a baby one.
Isaac's a little bit unwell.
That's the baby
Yes,
one.
I know. There's your jumper, Lily. So Isaac has stayed home and he's going to do some homeschool with us today instead, which is great because he's got some schoolwork, like homework, that he can be doing when we're doing our bookwork time. But we're about to get into some group time. My work finally called and I am getting some shifts booked in, which I'm so excited about. So I have to do 3 buddy shifts to begin with. Hopefully 2 of those will be night shifts and 1 will be a day shift. So I've just been back and forth on the phone this morning with the, I'm not sure what her role is. She's not the manager, but she's in charge of organizing all of this. So yeah, I have been on the phone back and forth all morning, trying to figure out what days to come in, what nights to do. I'll turn this around and show you. Okay, I've got our table work set up and ready to go for after group time. We'll probably have lunch before we do this. But just 3 distinct piles over there of work to be done. But before we do that, we're going to get into our group time, which I always have my kids doing activities and staying busy because it's a lot of read aloud. So we'll be doing, we'll listen to a family devotion and we'll do a Bible scripture. I'm really excited. Actually, a beautiful lady in our church gifted these Usborne beginner books, and they're all history books. So this is the first one, the Stone Age, and the illustrations in this are really great, like great for kids. Like it will definitely get their attention. So we will be reading through this book today on the Stone Age and tools that were used, not as in caveman, but you know, the Stone Age, before the Iron Age. And then we're going to start this novel. The reason I'm reading this novel is because my heart is a little bit too broken to be reading something without my eldest child because he is at school. But he has read this one on his own. And so I'm like, well, we can all read this one together as our read aloud. So we'll read 1 or 2 chapters of that. I know, May, 1 second. We will read about the human body today. We won't read the whole thing. We'll probably just start with skin. So we will do the skin section. Bless you, Lily. Oh, the kids have colds too, I forgot to say, which is why Isaac is home as well. So we will read probably just... There's a lot of information to take in there. So we'll do a page on skin. And then my mum got the Harry McCleary Treasury, which we are all very excited about.
Baba gave you.
She did. And the illustrations in this are so cute. So we will probably just read 1 or 2 of these because there's a whole bunch of different stories in there. And we will enjoy that. And after that, it will be time for lunch. I also need to stop and remember to get the tomato soup on. I may actually just, what's the time? Yeah, I may just do that right now before we start because it will just take me 5 minutes. I will literally put some water on in a pot to boil, add in a chicken, chop up some celery, throw some carrots in and put the lid on. That's all I need to do. And I'll make a coffee. So I will do that and then we will get into our group time. For most of the Stone Age, people found food by gathering wild plants and hunting wild animals. They lived in small groups. Each group moved from place to place to find enough food. People built simple shelters to sleep in. They made fires for cooking food and keeping warm. Tame dogs. First, a tool maker chose a stone of the right type and shape and size. Next, she used an even harder stone to hammer off big pieces. And chasing him home with their eyes on the bone went Hercules Morse, Bottomley Potts, Muffin McClay, Bitzer Maloney, and Schnitzel von Kram with the very low tum. So we have finished group time. We are stopping for lunch now. Lily's really unwell, so I'm going to give her some Panadol. I'm not sure how much bookwork she will be up for. I'll give her Panadol now. She'll have a little bit of lunch and maybe in half an hour or so she might feel up to it, but we'll see. Otherwise, I'll definitely be working with the other boys, but we're just going to do an easy lunch, some raisin toast, juice and milk, something along those lines. I have the tomato soup going, which is great, in that big pot over there, and things are pretty much under order. But I think I'm going to close the vlog here because otherwise it's going to be too long. But it's Vlogtober, I'm vlogging every day, so I will just pick it back up from where I left off. So come back tomorrow for another video. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.